Alright, y'all, it's the last video in this player profile series. We made it. We got the first game of the regular season tonight. Super excited about that. Hope you guys are too. But we got a few more guys to talk about, mainly the rookies. I'll get into like a couple other guys who are on the roster as well. But real quick about the rookies, I just want to be honest with you guys. This is not going to be some deep analysis of, what they did in college and how that's going to translate to the NBA. Because I'm gonna be real with y'all, I don't really know. I watch college basketball. I follow it a decent amount, but I mean that's mostly with like the blue blood schools, Pac-12. I'm a Boise State fan, believe it or not. So yeah, don't really see a ton of those guys go to the NBA. But what I'm saying is, I didn't watch either of these guys in college, so I don't really have like a big knowledge bank to base my analysis off of. I will, however, give my opinions because since they've been drafted to the Kings, I've done a little bit of research. I've seen what people say about them. I've seen them play in preseason. I've seen them at the Kings media day. I've seen them on the Kings social media. So I know a little bit about these guys, enough so to form some sort of opinion on them. But if you're looking for some crazy deep analysis, I would go other places. And I know that's not like the best way to sell my channel, but I don't want to mislead anybody. I want to be honest with the few listeners that I do have. And yeah, I mean this is more for entertainment, more for my entertainment, hopefully for your guys's as well. But yeah, I'm not trying to prove anything with my takes, especially on guys that I don't really know a ton about. But I did watch some preseason games. I know that doesn't sound great, but I just don't really, you don't really get a lot out of it unless you're like a rabid basketball fan. You're just like so hungry to watch basketball. I get that. But there's also football and baseball going on, baseball playoffs. So I've been tuning into that more so than a preseason game. Just preseason games, all they're gonna do is give you misleading information. At least in my opinion, you can't really garner much from a preseason game because rotations are all over the place. Especially with Mike Brown, he's just trying to see what he's got in different players and different combinations of players on the floor. He's just kind of throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. Anyway, all that to say, Colby Jones, dude, his final preseason game, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. He looks like he could be ready for the NBA. It'll still be really tough for him to see meaningful minutes. However, he should be one of the first guys on the floor in a blowout, which, is like a somewhat valuable role. A huge one for him. Now, as far as for the Kings, you just kind of need guys to play those minutes. Literally could be anybody. But that'll be important for Colby Jones's development. And who knows, maybe he could play himself into gosh, who was it last year? I guess Kessler Edwards a little bit last year, where he'd come in and kind of showed enough in those blowout minutes and probably showed a lot in practice for Mike Brown to give him some real minutes. And we had such a lackluster defense that if you showed any sort of initiative on the defensive end, he was going to play you. Don't know if Colby Jones has that same defensive upside that Edwards has, but he definitely he looks like an NBA player. Jalen Slauson, on the other hand, well, he scored 4 points in 24 minutes during the preseason. He's probably going straight to Stockton, and typically that hasn't been a great sign for Kings prospects. They usually don't come back from that, at least not in a Kings uniform. Now, that's not to say he doesn't have potential. I mean, obviously, if you take a guy in the NBA draft, they have potential, but I don't know. I mean, that's kind of just a rough audition in the preseason for him. Obviously, hoping for the best for the guy, but yeah, I mean, those are our two rookies, and realistically, probably not going to see a ton of them this season. Our bench is so deep, and we re-signed a bunch of guys to fill, you know, those 8 through 10, 11 spots in our rotation. It's going to be hard for either of them to crack that, but best of luck to them. Obviously, you root for your rookies, you root for the young guys on the team. Speaking of those young guys, there's a couple more that I wanted to talk about in this little player profile series. Not enough, to give them their own video, but these are some guys that might see some action for the Kings. First up, I already mentioned him, but Kessler Edwards. He has a lot of defensive upside, and I think he's a guy out of all these dudes that actually has a shot at some decent playing time. Like I've mentioned in probably every single Kings video that I've made, the Kings are looking for defense anywhere they can get it. They're not in a position to be picky. Whoever can stop a guy is going to see some playing time. And Kessler Edwards has shown that he's able to do that. Hopefully, he's able to make some shots along the way too. He'd be a really cool guy to have off the bench as kind of just like a defensive specialist. And given that role, like whatever he gives you on offense is kind of just a plus. Now, the last guy I'm going to talk about is Jordan Ford. Obviously, everybody kind of knows he's a local guy from Folsom. Really cool story. I remember watching him play in high school, actually. Always gave my high school trouble. But will he give other NBA teams trouble? I don't really know. He's like a great story, obviously. The odds are kind of stacked against him. But I really do hope he gets to see some action. I'm sure he'll be another one of those guys who comes in during blowouts and whatnot. But kind of just hoping he's able to like maintain his spot on the roster. He's 25, so he's not like fucking old by any means, but definitely not, a spry, was it a spring chicken? I don't know. I don't fucking, somebody tell me if I'm wrong or right there. But you know what I mean. Like, he's not, a rookie. Anyway, those are kind of the guys. I know that wasn't like some crazy analysis, but those are the last guys I wanted to talk about before the season starts. And as the season starts, I'll get into more of the fun side of like Kings basketball and Kings media and Kings everything. Kings. We'll have some more fun with this channel, and it'll be more like straight up just like my reactions to how the season's going. I'm hoping to have some like post-game reactions, like immediately game's over. I just kind of record myself rambling, post that, see what you guys think, and kind of go from there. And I'll have, some player-specific videos coming too, and I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just figuring this out as I go. So appreciate those of you who are listening, who are watching. But yeah, let's go out and light some beams. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Adios. Okay, I'll see ya. Bye-bye. Toodles. Okay, I'll see ya. All right. You can stop now. You can stop listening. You can click that little back button or the circle button on your PS5 controller, or you can just turn off your phone. Unplug the computer. Plug your ears. I'm still here, man. All right, let's light that beam. Bye.